The problem is that the PlayStation 4 is not powering on. It has to be opened. This PlayStation 4 is sealed that has never been opened before. So I am going to remove this warranty sticker. Once I have got this screw removed, I can remove the bottom cover by lifting it from the sides like this. You can open the locks with a lock opener if the locks are not opening. And it is going to come off, as you can see. Just like I predicted, there is a lot of dust in the system. Here is the power supply. The first thing that I am going to show you guys is how to replace it. I am using here some extended wires because I don't have a PSU for the model of the same PS4, and this one could not fit in it. Here I have to connect the wires keeping in mind the polarity. After connecting the standby power wires, I put the main power cord in the PSU socket. And try to turn it on. And as I connected the HDMI cable to it, there was a display on the screen. The display on the screen shows that the rest of the PlayStation is fine. So let's try to fix the power supply unit. As it has only one screw, and after unscrewing the screw, I can open the locks with the lock opener because the case is locked together with some hidden locks. A sticky liquid is oozing out on my hands from this PSU. I can see a lot of oil in this case. I think the PSU may have been damaged due to a power surge. Many of the PSU parts can also be damaged, including the fuse, VDR protection and electrolytic capacitor. I am checking for short-circuited components by connecting one of the oscilloscope probes to the main filter capacitor's negative or ground and putting the other probe to work. Firstly, I will check for the FETs whether they have been damaged or not. All the components that serve as standby 5 and 12 volts looks fine. Four pins checks pins logic data shows correctly as well. All the coupler data also looks fine. That means there is no short circuit component. Only the main power input components have been damaged. A fuse consists of a conducting element enclosed in a glass, ceramic, or other non-conductive tube and connected by ferrules at each end of the tube. The second projection right next to the fuse is a VDR which has a short circuit. So let's take a start with the main power fuse. A fuse is the simplest form of overcurrent protective device, but it can be used only once before it must be replaced. The second diode bridge circuit is not short circuited. The VDR saved it from being short circuited. VDR is to protect electronics devices and electrical circuits against voltage surge and spikes. VDR is also physically damaged as it blasts. So let's replace all these damaged components. The VDR is separate but its legs are still there. You can see as I remove the VDR from it, there is no more shortage in the circuit. And then last is the capacitor. It is glued with some silicone. The capacitor is inflated and also needs to be replaced. Now I got to know the oil was oozing out from the same capacitor. The fuse is still there as it also needs to be replaced. Each component I have got from a donor power supply except the capacitor. Now it's time to install these components. a lot of oil on it. Here I have to install a new capacitor, and its value is 150 microfarad and 450 volts. It is a type of electrolytic capacitor, so it should be kept in a polarity, otherwise it may explode. After replacing the damaged components, now I must check if it is working or not. I connected an on-off switch between the standby 5 volts and the AC-DC input points. And I connected a bulb as a load at 12 volts output points. Now I put the main power cord in the PSU socket. And turned it on. The load bulb has glowed. That shows the power supply unit is now fixed. I need to discharge a capacitor that was previously charged. A discharge ensures that it will not give a shock. Now let's test it with the PlayStation 4. Hopefully it must work with it. This way. Power, HDMI, and yes,